Bass Case Season 2, Episode 12, Major Pentatonic Scales, Part 1. I like scales, obviously. I've learned many of them and can execute them on my instruments. On piano, too. And music school was full of scales and arpeggio, and they are useful and helpful. You can make things out of them. Lines, melodies, voicings, etc. Scales will help you understand music better. Scales will help you understand your instrument better. I haven't known a lot of players who were good players who didn't know how to play, quote unquote, their scales. And when I say their scales, I mean the scales you're supposed to know as a musician. Majors and the modes. I just covered those in a previous episode. Majors and the modes, you should know those. This is not difficult to get under your fingers. And with the plethora of books and videos out there, there's really no excuse. It's just a matter of time and working it out. And as a teacher, I find it tough to advance players who haven't worked out their scales. I can get them started playing lines, but it's hard to push them ahead because practically every line out there is part of a scale. Walking lines, solo lines, melodies, practical bass lines. They're all based on the scale. You know, like that Recordame intro I did for that A minor thing. See the episode. That's based on A minor. The melody to Fly Me to the Moon. You know, depending on the key, right? It's based on a descending major scale. You know, if you're listening to Sinatra, it's a C major descending scale. If you have scale shapes under your fingers, whatever your instrument, the lines come out faster and better. You understand more of what's going on. The shape of the line will make sense to you, and your fingers, if your scales are already under your fingers, will happen. And knowing your scales will help your sight reading too. You'll recognize the lines with your eyes as scales and arpeggios and be able to execute them faster with the correct hand position and correct fingering if those scales are under your fingers. Okay? Enough badgering you about learning your scales. I could say this for some guys who just say, I'm not going to learn them or I'm not going to mess with them. It would seem natural after I did the major modes for me to move to minor scales, but I'm going to wait on that and move to pentatonics, starting with major pentatonics, you know, pent, 5-note scales, more Greek language. So useful and used by musicians everywhere. Chick Corea liked some pentatonics. Kenny G, man, he likes some pentatonics. I like them too. All musicians use them. I think I don't use them enough. Now, basic pentatonic in C, I'm just using a major scale fingering, but I'm taking some notes out to make it pentatonic. See, there it is right there. I'm referencing the major scale to illustrate another scale. That's what we do when you have your scales under your fingers. The fingering for major pentatonic is 2-4, 1-4, 1-4. Check out the video on YouTube also. Okay, so here's number 1, C pentatonic, starting on the second finger, number 1. Okay, simple. Here's number 2, same fingering, but I'm going to play through the cycle. And check out the video too. Okay, here's number 2. Okay, straight ahead. Here's a different fingering from major pentatonic. I like this one. This fingering starts on the first finger and has a shift. And you shift first finger from C to D, and then you play a box pattern using fingers 1 and 3 for the rest of the notes. And then this one adds an additional D, the ninth, right? You know how much I like that. So here's number 3, major pentatonic, but starting on first finger with the shift. Number 3. Okay, simple. Okay, now here's the same thing again. First finger pentatonic with shift through the cycle. Number 4. Here you go. Okay, simple. Now, I want to start making some music with them. Here's a descending pattern in C using that first finger with shift pentatonic, but I'm going to start on the high D, and then I'm going to resolve it to C. I'm just going to take this little pattern, and it's going to stop sounding so much like a scale, and it sounds like something we're going to use a lot. It sounds like something you've probably heard before. So here is number 5. Okay, now that was probably the first pentatonic line ever invented. Okay, now here I'm going to take that same pattern, C pentatonic descending starting on the C, but I'm going to play around with it. I'm going to even make more music with it and make it sound less like a scale. So here is number 6. Okay, if you notice, it sounds less like a scale now. It's almost disguised, and that's what you want. Pentatonics. I mean, so useful in all genres of music. Since there's no fourths or sevenths in it, it creates a more airy sound. That's the way I think about it. The videos are on the YouTube Bass Case channel. If you have any questions, email me at phil@basscase.co. I'll talk to you soon.